So I started this project with a couple sheets of 4x8 blonde wood plywood. It is not the highest quality, but it's all I could find with the 10 or 11 plies on the side, and that was kind of the look I was going for. So I started out breaking this up into manageable sheets, and then everything on this project is two pieces glued together. So you can see me kind of gluing up the blanks there. These two put together will make the blanks for actually two legs, and I made a bunch of those so I would have enough for the stretchers as well. And then here is gluing up the top. That is a 36 inch by 36 inch 3-foot square piece, and again there are two of them, so just sandwiching those together. I thought about gluing these from the bottom, but just something about it made me not want to do it. If you glue them up from the bottom, it would be perfectly fine. But I wanted to just go with clamps all the way around, and then I put some weight on the middle. If I was to do this again, I would try to come up with a better way to apply even pressure, but it's been okay so far. I didn't see any gaps or anything once it was done. So here, after the glue dried, I broke everything apart, and again, those are the blanks for the stretchers and the legs. And then I needed to get a true surface. You know, there's some glue squeeze out and stuff moves around a little bit once you get it in clamps. So I just took it over to the joiner, and then you can see there drawing the diagonal to actually make two legs. I think it was about 1.5 inches wide at the thinnest part, and then up to about 4 inches wide. And then again, I needed to clean that edge up off the bandsaw, so I ran this over the joiner. I just kind of eyeballed an angle here. The angle that the legs were going to go into the top, and then cut the same angle on the bottom where the legs would sit square and nothing was sticking up. And then there's me ripping the stretcher pieces and figuring out how long I want them to be, how far I want the legs to stick out. Again, I was doing a lot of this off of what looked right. If I would have actually gone through and drawn this out, which I started to, probably would have ended up a little better. But I joined the legs and the stretchers together with dominoes, and I ended up putting 4 of them just because it added a lot of strength and a lot of glue surface, and you can see that there, how that came together. So anytime I use dominoes on a piece of furniture that's going to see a lot of action like this one is, this is going to be our main dining table, I like to pin them, and that's what I did here with some walnut dowels that I had. Came back and flushed that up with a pull saw. Actually ended up looking really cool with the contrast in wood. And then here I'm just drilling the mounting screw holes for the bottom. I used a Forstner bit. If I could go back and do it over, I probably could just use tabletop fasteners. You're never really going to see, especially if you put these on the inside. And these were just 4-inch panhead screws. So I had one stretcher go all the way across, then the other two, instead of overlapping them like I should, I cut that in half. And then I was getting close to done, and then you can see here, I just didn't like how wobbly this was, and didn't scrap the design, but I knew I needed to start over. And I turned to Chris Salomone over at 4 Ice Furniture. If you've ever seen his work, he actually gave me a couple of ideas and gave me this idea to make a cross brace. That's what I'm putting in here. So I actually salvaged the legs, but I had to make all new stretchers. I made them a little bit longer to make it a little bit more stable, and then I just found the angle, found the distance up from the floor I wanted to put this, cut the angle that was right, and then you can see here what I should have done the first time is overlap these two, and you'll see this kind of all come together. I did this with the 2 cross braces, and then also with the stretchers at the top. Clamping this was kind of a bear, but you can see I used those blocks on the side that made it a little bit easier. And then here was the real fun part, was trying to put all this together. But I finally got everything to kind of come together like it was supposed to. that was it for the base, and then I came back and just cut somewhere between a 15 and 20 degree angle just on the edges to make the top look a little bit lighter, give it a little bit of definition. And then instead of using a round over bit and something that was probably going to tear out this low quality plywood, I just used a block plane and kind of softened everything up. And then there's the screws I ended up using. Those are a 1/4 inch by 3 inch spac screws, I believe. And then I forgot to focus the camera, but there it is, all put together, and it was much stabler. So as with anything else, I came back and sanded everything up. I actually sanded the bottom of 2 of the feet to level it, and then cleaned up all those joints. This is going to be a table we use every single day. It's going to need to be pretty durable, so I used polyacrylic, a couple coats of that, and we were pretty good to go. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the build of the plywood bar height table. If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe below, and if you want to keep up with me in between builds, you can follow me over